Hello, everybody. Scott G with the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel here and the ECW television review for the 27th of April. This is the fourth in the series, so these will go out today, uploaded today, and then we will upload month by month when I have the time. Want to be here more often. Don't know what that looks like for me in the remainder of the year. Got moves and other things going on, but anyway. Um, Gilbert says that he is the co-host of the show this week. Eddie Gilbert, of course, has been doing battle with Terry Funk, and he says that he ran Terry Funk out of the area with a Texas death match or a Falls Count Anywhere type brawl. That match is barely shown, as we see. There's about 30 seconds of footage before Todd Gordon cuts it off and says that he has not run him off in that I Quit match. Gordon cuts it off in the middle and says Funk will be speaking next week, and Funk obviously is going to be back in ECW as he is here for a good bit of time. Then we go to Hunter Q. Robbins III says that he's putting up $500 on the Super Destroyers' ability to defeat Stetson and Winters for the Tag Team Championship. Super Destroyers challenge Winters and Stetson to a championship match. Says they could buy McDonald's or anything else that's minor they need with it. Really weak angle, and Hunter Q. Robbins III is an indie manager fair of the time, but at the time, hey, it's moving along that tag program they've been building over the last few weeks of TV. Winters and Stetson go back and forth with hip tosses, arm drags, and really basic wrestling during the early stages, working over the arms, and there is a super kick style maneuver by one of the Destroyers, cut off, and Destroyers then take over for a little bit, hot tag off to Winters, who hits a backdrop. Super Destroyers work the leg for a little while and include a figure four reversal by Winters on the Super Destroyers. Referee calls for this disqualification with a after distraction. You know, it's a pretty basic thing. Johnny Hotbody and Chris Candido introduce themselves. They are calling themselves the Suicide Blondes, even though Johnny Hotbody is in fact not a blonde. Sal Balomo and Glenn Osborne match never happens as Gilbert brings out Don Morocco and Jimmy Snuka together as members of Hot Stuff International. From putting some really basic tag team work together, Gilbert says this team will take over ECW, and Snuka can repeatedly over the day says that Snuka is in fact taking care of business. Then we see the team of Johnny Hotbody and Chris Candido. We see the team of the Suicide Blondes going back and forth in a squash match here. Johnny gets the introduction out of the way, and then Tommy Cairo and his partner. Cairo does a bunch of hip tosses and the like. Match goes a little too long, probably about 10 or 11 minutes. Hotbody takes over, and so it's Cairo and JT Smith are in the match with Johnny Hotbody and Chris Candido. I think this is one of Candido's few appearances, as Candido's only here for a month or two. And then Smith comes in, clears house after the cutoff from the heels. Smith takes over for a little while and double teams by baby faces. Chris Candido hits a snap suplex on JT Smith, and the heels are bumping around for Smith and Cairo for a bit, and then Cairo gets sent over the top rope. Still looks like there's a gut wrench suplex for Candido, and Cairo comes back with a suplex of his own. JT Smith and a comeback with a modified moonsault, and then we see Cairo hit a strong suplex. JT Smith, as mentioned, misses the moonsault, and Johnny Hotbody comes in via the top rope, breaking up the pinfall and getting his team the victory. Hype promo Morocco and Snuka up next, and then they really don't say anything of value. Snuka says that they're going down, or Snuka basically is doing the barking gimmick he was doing at the end of the WWF. The Hell Riders are here versus Snuka and Morocco. Basic brawl, super basic punch kick match. Suplex by Morocco, and then Morocco also hits a tombstone, uh, a slam by Snuka into the backbreaker, and then Snuka hits the top rope splash, or actually press slams by Morocco of his own partner, leading to the splash for the win. Hot Stuff International in control. There is a recap of the television title tournament, and also a recap of the Rock and Rebel Sandman angle from the previous week. Uh, then we see a joined in progress Sandman versus Rock and Rebel with no real decision. However, the Sandman hits a series of arm drags and moves you wouldn't normally see from the Sandman. Rock and Rebel with a side suplex, drop kick off the top by the Sandman. Sandman does get a non-finish out of the way. And then we close the program with a Hunter Q. Robbins promo, continuing the fight for the tag team championships between his team and Winters and Stetson. For the most part, it's a really basic show. As you see, this review is only going to be about 6.5, 7 minutes, and some of these early ECW shows aren't as drawn out. We will obviously get into more as we get into late 93, early 94, but the pre-Paul Heyman ECW TV is really basic, very punch-kick wrestling, almost like any indie show that you would see. The later shows get to be more assertive and impressive. We'll be back with more right after this.